We touch 75 million people a day with the services that we provide. So we have to get diversity and inclusion right because our business depends upon it. So fundamentally, we get it that it's the right thing to do. But more important, there's a business case that shares when you have a gender balanced workforce, you perform better. Gender is all about understanding the dynamics between men and women in the workplace, aimed at promoting gender balance. So getting this right and working through our gender work stream helps us to understand what are the things that we need to do from a best practice standpoint to get to gender balance. We launched a business case and a business study. This business study was published from an internal standpoint. It was commissioned to be able to better understand the correlations of gender balanced teams and their performance and their engagement. What we found over a 5-year study that included over 100 Sodexo entities, that was multifunctional, that included over 50,000 employees that worked inside of Sodexo at many different levels. We wanted to ensure that it was all inclusive. And what we found, our results show that a team that is gender balanced, that means 60-40 split, regardless of who's at 60 and who's at 40. As long as you have a team that is gender balanced between 60 and 40, our results showed operating profit 8% higher, employee retention 8% higher, client retention 9% higher, accidents reduced by 12%, employee engagement increased by 14%. So at the end of it, our study found that gender balanced teams are better, proven with a business case that sits firmly behind that. So if you want to create shareholder value, create gender balanced teams. We've been recognized for the 5th straight year amongst Time's top 50 employers as a company best for women. We leverage events like this, but in particularly International Women's Day. We do that to raise awareness. We do it to run campaigns and activities to address the topical issues and challenges that we're faced with. Also the things that we do. We have structured development plans, and those structured development plans are built that build in a pipeline that moves women from middle management to senior management. We also hold webinars that are based between building your brand, managing work-life balance, and also unconscious bias. We also have formal mentoring and sponsorship. We have open dialogue and discussions through podcasts and through Dine With. Because the thing that you want to do is keep the discussion going and giving a voice to it. Because lack the voice, the problem doesn't get solved. So if we're hiring, it needs to be a balanced slate. We also have anonymous CVs. So it's about suitability, not about the person's name at the top of the CV. And we measure it, because what gets measured gets done. So those are just a few things from an HR perspective that we put in play to, again, gain gender balance. I will say that in women amongst our senior leaders has risen from 17% to 33% in 8 years. And we have an aspiration to get to 43% by 2025. While we're not exactly where we would want to be and proud of where we are from a number standpoint, we've made significant progress. Solving for gender pay gap begins with solving with gender balance.